Hello,
So,
everyone. Welcome to a professionally unprofessional podcast. I'm joined once again by my good friends Reese and Elliot.
Hello, everyone.
coffee is my best friend now. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, we're in we were all watching this on UK time, so we're all very sleep deprived.
Once again,
Oh.
staying up till 4 in the goddamn morning.
Thank you, Christopher Judd, for having a really long acceptance speech that dragged the show out.
Yep, it lasted for 8 minutes, and he went on Twitter saying he was cut off, and he didn't do the full one he wanted.
Oh, you
Good
don't
God.
really, you got enough out there, Chris.
I was just waiting for the point where he was going to thank Sonny. Let's be honest. I think a lot of us were thinking that.
Yeah, Sunny was the obvious thank.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably would have got to it by the 20-minute mark if he was able.
So,
I'm just disappointed he didn't call him boy at all.
boy. So how do you guys feel about this year? About this year's show in general? Would you say?
Well, I'll say this much. They definitely made up for this definitely felt like an apology from me for stealing from Tales of Arise last year.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Reese, what did you think of the show?
It was better just because it was about 2 hours shorter than usual.
Yeah, there was so many less pointless musical performances.
And yet, I still felt the need to have a 30-minute pre-show that, let's be honest, not that many people care about.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Why is it called the pre-show? There's loads of trailers on it, and a couple of awards are given out. It's part of the fucking show.
But for God's sake, they show Street Fighter 6 in that.
Yeah, that's a huge deal game. That could have easily been the main show.
Yeah, it's not like it was a minor thing, like an indie title being shown off.
Yeah, like some of the things in there, like I mean, some of them didn't look very good in that one. But let's get.
There were like 2 in the pre-show I was interested in. Street Fighter being one of them.
I'd say there was a couple in the pre-show. Yeah, I was very the Dead Cells Castlevania crossover. I was very.
Oh shit! Yeah, that one. That one looked really damn cool.
Yeah, have you guys played Dead Cells?
A bit of it.
I played it a couple of years ago. Like it was one of the, I think it was like one of the first Switch games I got.
I tried it out. I'm fucking addicted. It's a roguelike Metroidvania, which is an amazing combination already.
I feel like there are not a lot of roguelikes that are Metroidvanias.
Well, no.
Fairness.
No, it does work in this instance, but as for the awards, well, Nintendo did much better than I was expecting. They came out with a lot of wins.
Yeah, very surprising considering everything was stacked against them going in.
Yeah, they won Best Family. Kirby won Best Family Game. Splatoon 3 won Best Multiplayer. Absolutely right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bayonetta 3 took Best Action Game.
Woo!
Absolute right choice. What else? What else got? What was? Oh yeah, Tears of the Kingdom won.
Best anticipated
game. Absolutely right.
I'm not surprised in the slightest about that.
No.
The other, I mean, you could extend that out even further if you count Mario plus Rabbids, even though it was developed and published by Ubisoft.
I mean, Nintendo had a hand in it.
Nintendo does have a hand in that one, so, but of course, one of the things I found interesting was good spread of winners this year. There was only 3 games that won multiple awards.
Honestly, I say the
4, sorry.
I say the major winner this year was God of War Ragnarok with the number of awards that took.
It won 6 awards in total. God of War Ragnarok.
It was nominated for like 10, wasn't it?
Nominated for 10, but 2 of them were in the same category.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it didn't beat Last of Us Part 2's record by 1. Last of Us Part 2 won 7 awards.
Yeah.
But the thing that held it back was the fact Elden Ring was in there, and Elden Ring did very well. Took home 4 awards, including Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Yep. That was nominated for 8, apparently.
Yeah, the only other ones that won multiple awards were Stray, which took 2, and Final Fantasy 14.
I'll be honest, the game I feel admittedly probably the most sorry for is Plague Tale Requiem, because that was nominated for so much and it didn't win anything.
Can I say I'm not a big fan of that game, so I don't feel too sorry about it.
I haven't even played it. I haven't even played Innocence.
It both are on Game Pass, I believe. I know Requiem is, but I'm not sure about Innocence.
I could be wrong. I think wasn't Innocence taken off like not that long ago.
Yeah, I think they did, so you could get Requiem on there. I think Innocence, which I think is a mistake because I think a lot of people would want to play Innocence to get ready for, and then go straight into Requiem. I think they should have probably renegotiated that deal to get there longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
The game I feel very sorry for, and I know I'm going to get called a simp for this one, but I feel very sorry for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because it had 3 nominations, and it easily could have won 2. It easily could have won 2 of them. I never thought it was ever going to win Game of the Year, but I think soundtrack and RPG had a very good chance at both of those.
Would you say you would have voted for them in either of them? Because when it comes to soundtrack, I would have thought you would have voted for Metal Hellsinger.
I did vote for Metal Hellsinger in soundtrack, but I voted for it in the RPG category.
Yeah.
Obviously, I just voted for Elden Ring in that one.
See,
I will happily admit I am a simp for that game.
Yeah, Elden Ring is very good and it's a very good RPG. I just felt like in terms of RPG mechanics in traditional sense, Xenoblade 3 does it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, I say with Xenoblade is more because that follows more traditional RPG stuff than Elden Ring does.
Yeah, again,
Elden Ring's RPG is mostly in the leveling up and the customizability rather than anything else.
Yeah. That's the thing about Xenoblade and Elden Ring. It's not an apples to apples comparison, so it's very hard to make a decision. Like you compare, like if you want to compare it with say Live Alive or Triangle Strategy, you could actually make better apples to apples comparisons because those games are relatively similar in their mechanics. So, incidentally, how do you guys feel about Elden Ring winning Game of the Year?
I said on the night, I'm not surprised and absolutely not disappointed. Honestly, if either God of War or Elden Ring won, I would have been equally as happy.
Reese, how did you feel on the night?
Yeah, I think it was a fair shout, especially because Elden Ring had been out for so much longer.
Yeah,
and a multi-plot.
Well, we made that prediction that Elden Ring was going to win because it had longer to develop its audience.
Yeah, not to mention Elden Ring was like talked about a lot more in the build up to it than God of War was, and it's still heavily talked about today.
Well, the
thing even with God of War out, so I feel like it's Yeah,
the thing is though, going into each of these, I'll be interested to see if that repeats itself with the video game BAFTAs in a few months, because presumably both Elden Ring and God of War will be nominated for that one, and it'll be the same battle again. I'll be interested to see will God of War take it this time when it's had a bit more time with the voting, with the critics that are going to vote in that. Incidentally, do we think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is going to get nominated for the best game at the BAFTAs or not?
I don't think it will.
No, I don't think it will. As I said, I thought it was a bit of a long shot for it getting nominated at the Game Awards. I'm not sure about the BAFTAs.
I don't think so. Most of the cases with the BAFTAs is if you're a Japanese company, you've got no chance of and you're not called Nintendo, you've got very little chance of being nominated, let alone winning. And I think Xenoblade 3 is not Nintendo enough for them to nominate. Put it this way. In 2019, the game for the 2019 wins, the game they nominated from Nintendo for best game was Luigi's Mansion 3.
Really?
Yeah, now I like Luigi's Mansion 3 a lot, but I wouldn't have put that as the 5 best games of the year list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I will call it the best in the top 5 best Nintendo games of that year.
What do you think of Luigi's Mansion 3, Reese? Actually, on a
it was good, but it didn't set the world on fire.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a very good game, but it's not a wow game.
Yeah. I think the only people who still really talks about it is Arlo, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Scott the Woz had some nice things to say about it, but that's all I can think of. So, shall we move straight into the trailers then, I think?
Yeah.
First thing up, we'll start with the pre-show. First thing up was, as we mentioned it already briefly, Dead Cells is doing a crossover with Castlevania next year. And wow, that is a great combination to do. And what I loved about it was a lot of allusions to the Netflix series in it as well.
Oh yeah.
Has this convinced you guys? Like, this was a hype announcement to get for me, but I don't know about you guys.
I mean, my honest reaction was, they're still updating that?
Well, they had the Shovel Knight stuff come into it
Yeah,
recently.
because it's been out for how long now?
It's been out since 2019.
Yeah, I think it actually got a lot of attention because of that debacle with IGN where the guy plagiarized someone else's
that
review.
one.
So I think a lot more attention went on the game because of that scenario. I mean, I could be wrong. But this looks pretty cool. We didn't see much gameplay of it, but then again, it's Dead Cells, so we know what to expect. I imagine we're going to see more of this as it comes out. I reckon this is an early 2023 release.
Do you think we'll be able to play as Alucard and Richter? Or do you think they're more just like bosses or side characters or something?
I think it'll be more you get the weapons and the outfits like them. Like that's similar to what they did with like Shovel Knight in the game.
Yeah.
Next trailer was Vampire Survivors going to mobile phones. This is not exciting for me because I can play it on my Xbox right now. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people. Some people really like Vampire Survivors. There's one streamer I watch called Tear of Grace, who played it all the time on stream. I think he still does, honestly. But yeah, on mobile, really.
It's very addictive. I will tell you that right now. It is. I've gone on it a couple of times and said I'll do about half an hour. I was like, I've done double that and I haven't even realised. It's very much that sense of one more go.
Oh yeah.
So next thing, Valiant Hearts. I can't remember this one too well.
Yeah, just quickly. I don't know if you're going through these in order, but you forgot Hellboy.
Oh no,
that was after.
That was after.
Oh right, okay.
There's two more trailers before we get to Hellboy.
All right, then damn, screw you, Kotaku. Why is it completely out of order?
That's why we don't pay attention to Kotaku.
In all fairness, it's in a better order than all the other sites are, like fucking IGN.
Elliot, I should explain. Kotaku is not counting the ad break announcements.
All right, never mind. Yeah, I found a better one. Thank you, Eurogamer.
Valiant Hearts. I can't remember what game that really was, but the next announcement.
One thought when I saw that is Netflix makes games.
Oh yes, that was the Netflix one. Netflix are moving into mobile gaming, and they really want. Now I remember it. It looks alright, but we didn't see much of it. Next one that leaked on Steam quite a bit ago, and then finally decided to announce it. Sony's bringing Returnal to PC.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good.
I think I'm gonna say the same thing everyone else does. Just pull Bloodborne for God's sake.
See again, I think Bloodborne. It's finding the studio to do it because you're going to need an external studio to do it. FromSoft is not interested in doing that, so find the external studio to do it. I mean, I bet you could find one. Like maybe the B team at Blue Point could do it or something like that. They're very good at game restoration.
Yeah.
But okay, it's Demon Souls. Then put that on PC.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, Demon Souls on PC, perfect decision. I don't think that's a possibility. I would say keep an eye out for that one, considering I was saying before, oh, you're not going to put Spider-Man on there, you're not going to put God of War on there. They're both on there now. So next up, we have Hellboy: Web of the Weird, and this this game looks bad.
This game just looks bad.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is trying to be. Is it like a beat 'em up or?
It's just also the graphics look really odd. Like I don't know what art style they're going for here. It sort of looks like a. Do you remember that game 13?
Yeah, it's meant to emulate the original comic book run because that was the style they used.
Yeah, but it doesn't look. It doesn't. I don't think that ever translates very well to a video game engine.
No.
They need to take some of that kind of liberties with the comic book with the whole comic book style.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially considering how good Hellboy looked in Injustice 2.
Yeah.
What do you as I say, the fact they didn't have a release date on this also suggests to me that this is something that is a while off. Another trailer for Horizon Call the Mountain. None of us qualified to get VR2 headsets, so we won't be playing.
I didn't even pre-order. I'm not bothered about it, honestly.
I tried to pre-order, but you had to give your email, and they'd email back if you qualified for a pre-order, and I never got the email back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also way too expensive for me in a minute.
Yeah, 500. Like it's over £500. That is mental.
It really is.
I mean, I knew it was coming because of hearing what pundits were saying, but it still felt off to me. Another game called Post Trauma.
My one thought when I saw this game was, wow, Age has not treated Dante well.
Yeah, I remember that was. I remember you making that joke, and I thought, yeah, that is a good one. Oh god, very unremarkable looking game.
Either that or that detective guy from Detroit Become Human.
Oh, played by Clancy Brown, wasn't it?
Yes, that's
I think
it.
so.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Clancy Brown played that role.
Yeah.
I
I forget the character's name, but everyone knows Clancy Brown is Clancy Brown.
It's Lex Luthor playing this role, so you're gonna remember it.
I'll be honest, I just always called him Old Dante.
Viewfinder. This is a PlayStation exclusive live service game.
Yeah, it looks bright and colourful.
Yeah.
Seems like an interesting puzzle game.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, this is the puzzle one, not the live service one. The puzzle. Yeah, no, this one. I love the concept of this, but and again, I'm not normally someone for puzzles, but if the game is focused around puzzles, I can put up with it. And what I like about this one is the fact it's going it's going to be something amazing to look at, if nothing else.
Yeah, it looks like it's making full use of the PS5 with just the visual effects going on.
That's a good PlayStation exclusive to have. Another trailer for Atomic Heart that's coming soon to a lot of platforms. It's going to be on Game Pass.
Yes, it looks good as last time.
Then there's a trailer for something called Scars Above. I missed most of this trailer because I went for a piss break.
And this is where Eurogamer just gave up because those aren't on here.
Good thing
that's the cartoony one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. No, that's the next one. Relic Hunter Legends was the next.
Yeah.
Was that one? And that one looks all right, but it also looks like another sort of. It's a bit like one of those multiplayer games that you think I'm going to play that a lot, and then you only ever play it for like the first couple of days it's out, and then get bored of it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of my thought with Kirby's Dream Buffet.
Yeah, the only difference is I've actually the only difference is Kirby. I kind of liked that one a bit more, and I wish more people got into that. But
the difference is I played 2 games with you guys and realized I don't really like this.
Yeah.
Well, was that just because you were in the first for the most of it, then lost right at the end? On both games.
It's the only reason you like it because you won all your games.
No,
well, yeah, it's because that's the one. Pay attention to the rules that said at the start.
Okay.
No, I'll be honest. Okay, here's my thought. The thing that really brought me out of it was I felt like a lot of the power. There were some power ups that are just way more of a power than others, and I'm already not a big fan of games like Fall Guys. Honestly, which I feel like you need to be into those kinds of games in order to get into that one.
Yeah, if you're not into Fall Guys, this is going to do nothing for you.
Yeah.
So next up we have Among Us getting an update for Hide and Seek. That's out today.
That was today.
Wow. Yeah. It's today. The day that's out when you're listening to this.
Literally with like when the trailer pretty much started, they first sort of showing gameplay. I was just thinking, okay, there's some like hide and seek thing, and then also Among Us hide and seek. Wow, that's not even clever.
Yeah.
It looks like an interesting new game mode, and it's always been. I have in a group that does occasional Among Us games. It's very easy to catch me if I'm the imposter because apparently I have no subtlety whatsoever.
I still haven't played Among Us. I'm not that bothered on it, but I know that if I played it, I would just keep trying to convince people that I was the imposter.
No,
just get myself booted out first thing every time.
No, there's a person who's you know, I do those EP squad hangouts for Good Vibes Gaming.
Oh yeah.
There's a person on there who shall remain nameless, but they are one of the but they are involved.
Joe.
No. This is one of the there's someone involved with the actual channel who shall remain nameless, and he got me. He killed someone right next to me, and then self-reported when I was in the area and made out that I was the imposter and got me booted out of the plane. I have never been so pissed off in all my life.
Hey, that's a good strategy. What can you say?
It's a good strategy, but I did vow revenge on him.
If it works,
Did you get
it
that
works.
revenge?
I'm waiting on a possible game of Pokemon to determine that.
So no.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Whenever I say you say you're working on it, I always think of Bulger going, "I've come up with a cunning plan, Blackadder."
No. They had a. Did you know what's amazing? We have, you know, my Civ group with the on that one, with Ren and all of his friends. They actually had a rule that if I said I'm working on it, they're illegally allowed to invade me. They had a few phrases of that, and it was, "Let's not get bogged down with whatever," and there was
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. That was the other one.
Yeah.
Any of those phrases, if I used them, I was fair game for invasions.
That
Cal's classic catchphrases.
That is fair. I feel like if we were in that, we would also have ones like me if I mentioned anything to do with King's Game or Elden Ring, Reese if he talked about his bubble build again,
Or just me rushing giant death robots at the end of the game.
Okay, so next game is a game that's coming out in spring. It's called After Us. It looks...
Not The Last of Us, After Us. Because some people get confused online.
Oh, really?
Really?
They look so different from one another. These don't look at all like each other.
Yeah, I apparently got confused because the title and the setting is all post-apocalyptic.
I mean, maybe they thought, oh, After Us, that means it's after The Last of Us. So it's a Last of Us 3. No, it's nothing that fucking boring, don't worry.
What do you think of the look of After Us?
Looks interesting. I mean, it seems like a sort of a very stylistic platformer.
I remember on the night, Reese, you compared it with Journey. You said it was very similar to that game.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of a post-apocalyptic, almost industrial version of Journey.
I don't know it reminds me of I don't know how I would describe it. It reminds me of something I can't put my head around it. It almost feels like the main protagonist, the character looks like that one character from the protagonist from an indie game called like The Missing or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know what you're on about there. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
However, in the setting of old Domino City and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, minus the card games on motorcycles.
Yeah, so the satellite you're referring to.
The satellite, that's it.
Yeah.
Card games on motorcycles.
The motorcycles.
Next game up was probably one of my favorites of the pre-show. It's a game called Replaced. Comes out next year. It's got it uses a very good pixel art style, but the action looks very good in it.
Yeah, I think we saw like a trailer for it, like either earlier this year or last year at the Game Awards, and we're just like, what the hell is this? I don't know what's going on. And now we saw this, and I think, okay, now you have my attention.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know when it's coming. It's sometime in 2023, but Reese, what did you think of it?
I feel it was great. It's one of the most detailed pixel games I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it feels like it's a bit of a step up from Octopath Traveler, honestly, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see what Octopath Traveler 2 looks like, because Live Alive was a really great use of those pixel graphics in that environment.
I'm not thinking of this because the pixels just generally make up the entire world. Like they make 3D objects with 8-bit pixels, which I think is just really, really cool.
Whereas like Octopath Traveler uses a bunch of other techniques to
Octopath Traveler more uses 2D sprites on a 3D plane.
So final trailer of the pre-show was Street Fighter 6. They showed off a bunch of the side modes you're going to do, some of the stages, some new characters, and they gave the release date. It's the one that leaked earlier in the day, thanks to the PlayStation Store, June the 2nd, it comes out.
Showing off characters DJ, Manon, which I really have to try not saying the G in front of his name, Marissa, and JP.
I love DJ's design, I will say that much.
Yeah. I see this game and I just think it's such a shame I'm not a Street Fighter fan because this game does look really good.
Reese, what were you going to say, man?
Notice that I've only really played mostly Street Fighter 2, so it's good to see DJ back in the roster.
I think it's the entire core cast of Street Fighter 2 is there at launch. I don't know if any are missing at this point.
Blanca?
I think Blanca's confirmed, isn't he?
He was in the leaked concept art. I'm not sure if he's been in a trailer yet.
He hasn't been in a trailer.
Well, if he's in the leaked concept art, because everyone who's been in the leaked concept art has been accurate. So I'd say,
yeah,
if Blanca's not there at launch, he's a DLC character, and they will get all the Street Fighter 2 cast in there. Like all those characters are so iconic now. You couldn't do a Street Fighter game without all of them.
Still waiting for that M. Bison trailer. Still waiting for him to show up and go, for me, it was Tuesday.
Well, didn't they kill him off permanently in the last game?
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's gonna be like Tekken. Even when they're dead in big quotation marks.
Hell, if you had that game on PlayStation,
they're about as dead as my ass fighting Millennia.
They have on Xbox 360, you could actually have them team up with each other. That was weird. Then we moved into the main show. First trailer off, I did not see this one coming. Supergiant Games opened the show with Hades 2.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah,
holy shit!
After a 10-minute prologue by Christopher Judge.
Yeah, that was like, wow.
Yeah, like holy shit! I've been begging this entire time for Hades DLC. I was not expecting to get a full-blown sequel.
Same.
And it looks amazing. It doesn't look like it's changed up too much from the first Hades, but it
really need to.
It seems like you're not going through the underworld this time. The underworld this time, and you're not against Hades. You're not against Kronos.
Yeah, the trailer does imply that it's a time thing this time.
Which, let's be honest, every Greek mythology themed sequel, it always leads to the protagonist going after Kronos.
Yeah. Once you're done with the Greek gods, you always go after the Titans.
Yeah. Honestly, something I mean, when I always thought of the DLC for Hades, I always thought of like a boss rush where you fought against all the Greek gods.
Oh yeah.
I just thought that would be really fun. But you know what? This is better. This is way fucking better. I'm super happy about this.
Wow, it's so well put together. It's such an interesting concept. I'm dead excited for it. We're gonna get information about early access in 2023, so it presumably goes to Steam first in that early access build. We won't be reviewing it until it gets a full release.
I mean, yeah, I mean you never know. You never know. I mean, when it comes to the full release, what do you think it's going to be going to? I'm going to say PC and Switch most likely.
I think they're going to repeat the same marketing. They'll put it on Switch first and then prepare an Xbox and PlayStation one down the line.
Yeah.
What about you, Reese? Do you reckon they're going to go to all platforms or are they going to stick to the Switch?
Switch for now, all platforms later. Yeah. Especially because it was in open beta on PC for over a year before even coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I think we're going to be waiting a while till it gets its full release. But I think
my one hope is that we get a physical release from launch.
Yeah, that was a big thing missing.
I seriously want that.
Yeah, like I actually went and bought a physical release on the Switch version.
I bought the physical PS5 version, even though I already fished on Switch.
I'm still waiting to get the physical Switch version. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting till I have some extra funds. Really,
well, you're never going to find it in CEX because no one in their right mind would trade it in.
Yeah,
there's always Game. Which I'm part of Game Elite now, so all the better for it.
Result. Next game up was a game from the BioShock devs, Ghost Story. It's a game called Judas. It looks very similar to Bioshock in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you can really tell it's the same engine with the same character model basis.
It's basically Bioshock, but cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. I'm kind of thinking, why isn't this just Bioshock 4?
Yeah, especially because in Rapture it was pretty cyberpunk at times anyway.
Yeah,
I say Rapture was more. I say Rapture was more steampunk than cyber.
Well,
Honestly,
you've had. But the thing is, Bioshock Infinite showed you could do a Bioshock story that doesn't necessarily need to be in Rapture.
Yeah.
So I think you could do.
in fact, Bioshock 2 proved it was pretty much better too.
Yeah, exactly, so they are good at reinventing the environment and telling a Bioshock story. So I don't get why they couldn't have this setting and this environment and these games and not have it just be Bioshock 4 or cause.
Here's my theory as to why. Isn't it 2K who publishes Bioshock?
Yeah, they do. That's it.
Maybe the company doesn't have the rights to the name,
guessing,
so they kind of have to put in a different name.
I think 2K does own the IP for Bioshock, and I'm guessing they didn't want to work with Ghost Story anymore for whatever reason.
I mean, yeah, I think it was kind of announced that. I think it was said a while ago that they weren't working together.
So yeah.
Whereas Judas now has been done by Take-Two Interactive.
Oh, so yeah, it's Take-Two's publishing this. What do you think of Judas at the minute? Do you reckon? I reckon this is at least 2024.
Yeah, it looks a fair bit off.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting it anytime soon. All I'll say is, I'm up for anything Bioshock related or Bioshock-esque. I fucking love that series.
Yeah, I was about to say this is Elliot very happy.
Yeah.
Next one was another one to make Elliot very happy. We have an announcement from Nintendo and Platinum Games. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon comes out March 17th.
I was not expecting this.
Neither was I. I was like, wow, we're getting a Bayonetta spin-off like within 6 months of the Bayonetta 3 coming out.
I was expecting it because the Lost chapter ended in Bayonetta 3, but I was not expecting it this soon.
Without spoilers, we'll get. I'm going to try and unlock that because I actually didn't get the Lost chapter. I'm actually going to attempt to unlock it when we're done with this recording, when I've uploaded this to YouTube. So as soon as this is uploaded, you know I'm playing Bayonetta 3 and I'm following the video guide that Reese has sent me.
Nah, likelihood is I'm going to be playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'm starting a new build of Elden Ring at the minute. I mentioned this on our last stream. I gave a go of that Samurai Mage one that Elliot suggested.
All you do is copy my ideas.
I love you for this, Elliot. It's the most fun I've had playing Elden Ring.
What sword are you using?
I got the Uga Goroshi. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the one you get when you start as a samurai. But I started.
Oh no, that's the Uchi Katana.
Uchi Katana, that's it. I got that one. I then got the I picked up that and the meteor staff, and I got that really good gravity spell, and I was able to make Murgit like lose his bounce in like 2 seconds.
The weapon I'm gonna go is the Nagakiba.
Well,
you could get that one pretty early, though it does require you killing an NPC.
The move,
and it does have the longest range of any like katana.
Are you starting as the prisoner or the samurai? Because I started as a prisoner to get some of the spells.
I went with prisoner because it's primarily a dex intelligence build, which you get more intelligence as a prisoner by second with the damage of like losing 1 dexterity.
Yeah, I did that and started with a golden seed. We're getting well off topic, so we need to stop this immediately. I mean, this game looks really interesting. It's not your typical Bayonetta game. It's got a very interesting art style and a very interesting gameplay.
The art style reminds me a little bit of Okami, honestly.
It also has a bit of
but like a better comparisons.
Yeah, it's a bit like a grim fairy tale in terms of its art style.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I do like the fact they're bringing Cheshire in though as one of the main demons in it.
I feel like it's fitting that it's like it's in a grim dark sort of a grim fairy tale style because it is Bayonetta when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't really have. I don't really think we'll be able to see her fighting angels in that sort of way. It's her first gain of witch powers, I guess.
It is a brilliant. I will say though, I know it's a very different art style, but I think this game looks brilliant.
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful.
It looks really good, yeah.
Do you know what I found
Yeah.
interesting though? The video quality on the Nintendo YouTube page is way better than the Game Awards live stream. That's something about the Game Awards live stream. They made the Switch games look way worse than they actually are.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah.
And no wonder you get people on the outside who think the Switch is too underpowered. Like, the Switch is underpowered, but it can look amazing if it's given the right team.
I mean, hell, just proof of that is Breath of the Wild, and that was a fucking launch title.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Another example, Splatoon 3. That game looks stunning.
Yeah,
On the
absolutely.
Switch. Especially if you play it on the OLED, it looks amazing.
And who can forget our favorite, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
Hey.
I quite like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in the end. I don't mind how it looks.
Yeah, I think it's just a minor improvement from Sword and Shield. Honestly, I also much prefer the look of Legends Arceus.
Yeah, I've gone into that in my review because when you compare the texture work, the textures are more detailed in Legends Arceus
Yeah,
than
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, that's that. But the thing for me though is, I'm looking. I want to know a bit more about how this plays, but this is a definite day one pickup for me.
Yeah, you'll get a good idea when you play the Lost Chapter.
I mean, I'm a major Bayonetta fan, so it's obviously a day one pickup for me.
So that's a great end of the fiscal year for Nintendo. They'll end the fiscal year with Bayonetta Origins and Kirby, and they'll go into the new fiscal year with the Mario movie and Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, that's a hell of an opening 6 months for Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, this was a major for us because we weren't expecting Nintendo to show up at all at this.
No, I wasn't.
Small trailer for Ghostbusters VR, but none of us play the VR games that much, so
I didn't. I don't think I saw that. I think I went to get a cup of tea during this point.
ad break. It doesn't look very good, but anyway.
Yeah,
Then
it was announced on Twitter before it was showing off anyway.
there was a trailer for Destiny 2 Lightfall expansion.
Happy for all you Destiny fans.
Yeah, and this is not one where you can say all 10 of you or something like that, because Destiny 2 does have a huge player count.
I have plenty of friends who still play Destiny 2.
Again, I want to get into it, but I don't have enough friends that do it.
The reason why I don't get into it is the same reason why I haven't got into Final Fantasy 14, despite how much I want to. Just don't have the time.
Yeah, it's kind of why I'm hoping that rumored single player version of Final Fantasy 14 turns out to be real.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
So next trailer was a bit of an interesting one, but a bit of a somber one, because it was another trailer for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
I'd like to know your reaction when that first came up. You're just like, why is it every time this comes up, I care about it less? Then also discovered Kevin Conroy was in it. I was just like, oh, I'm picking this up day one. I have to.
I'm sorry, I love Kevin Conroy. I loved Kevin Conroy so much. I have to have this on some level, that this is his final performance as Batman.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm so interested in it. I mean, I'm just interested in it. It's a DC game made by Rocksteady.
Now, there's obviously been a lot of behind the scenes drama that's come out about this game. Nothing like workers' rights being invaded or anything like that, but there's been a lot of creative disagreements backstage, and the leaders of Rocksteady have now left the studio.
Oh, Jesus.
So it'll be very interesting to see if that will affect the final product.
Can I just say that the trailer really teased us? I thought for a second it was another Arkham game.
I sort of knew it. I found it interesting they brought back the actress who played Harley Quinn in Injustice to play her in this game. But the thing is, for me, and this is a bit, you might find this a bit bizarre, I don't care about the Suicide Squad. they've never been a DC property that has interested me at all.
Didn't you enjoy the reboot?
I thought the reboot was fine, but it's kind of one of those where I just go, I'm watching arseholes be arseholes for an hour, and I'm not. It's something about Suicide Squad just rubs me the wrong way. Like, I keep trying to get into it, and every time it goes wrong for me. Like, James Gunn is probably the closest one who's made me to making me like one of them, but.
Yeah.
And I quite like the Suicide Squad movie that was set in the Arkham universe, which everyone forgot about.
That was the animated one, right?
Yeah. Batman Assault on Arkham, which is a shame because that movie's really good.
I mean, personally, I'm interested in Suicide Squad, despite the attempts that the 2017 film did to prove me otherwise. But I don't know, I'll pick it up. I'll review it.
Do you know what it is as well? It's that there's a really good comic that's like Suicide Squad that was in the DC universe before Suicide Squad was kind of thing called Secret Six. And it is about another team of villains, but it was way more interesting. And I'm a bit annoyed that Secret Six is basically now a footnote that no one really remembers, which is a shame because it's written by Gail Simone and she's a fantastic writer.
Well, I guess just Suicide Squad, just Harley Quinn in it. It has a more recognizable face.
Yeah, that's the thing. Harley Quinn sold that one, and
yeah.
I mean, one of the things I found interesting is the trailer didn't mention the release date, but the release date has been given. It's May 26th.
Yeah, it says on here May 26th.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it did show it, didn't it?
Did I miss that?
No, it ended on a splash screen saying "Thank you, Kevin," with the Batman logo.
Oh shit! Yeah, it did. I think it might have been Jeff Keighley who said that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I would have thought you put that in the trailer. I mean, the fact that's coming out so close to Tears of the Kingdom is probably means it's not gonna. It's gonna be a wild. It'll be some. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have much time for it because it's coming out between Tears of the Kingdom and and eventually we're gonna get to it. Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, it is. Kind of shot itself in the foot there.
And Street Fighter 2 is out like a week afterwards.
You mean 6?
6, sorry. Fucking hell, that's how many times I say Street Fighter 2. It's just.
Yeah, it's just what everyone defaults to when they say Street Fighter. You automatically go 2.
Next one out is next one was a small trailer for Party Animals, which was kind of funny, but I think it played the joke. But
I'm not into those Fall Guy kind of games.
Yeah, it's basically just a furry version of Gang Beasts, if you remember that game.
Oh yeah.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's not going to cost you anything to try it out because it's on Game Pass day one. So whenever it comes out, you can just give it a go and it won't cost you anything.
But you will have the shame of people on your friends list seeing you playing the game.
Joke's on you. I don't have friends on Xbox Game Pass.
Joke's even more on you. I only have one friend on Xbox Game Pass.
And it's yourself on your account.
Next,
yeah, it's just his alt account. It's the one that he uses to play hentai games.
Ha! Next up, thing that Ren will care about. Last of Us Part 1's going to PC on March the 3rd.
I don't have a problem with this. I feel like it would be inevitable that Last of Us would show up on PC, and I guess I'm happy it's a more recent version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
rather than the old PS3 version.
let's be honest. If Last of Us was going to come, if it was just the PC version that was getting remade, that was getting this treatment, we'd all say, yeah, let's kind of make sense to do a full from the ground up remake of Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah, I just find it funny though. I mentioned this last night, but in one of the reviews it said a game experience a game you've never experienced. I just commented, yeah, except for the game that we played 9 years ago, and then again 8 years ago.
Yeah, no, it is rather in. So that's down the line. Then one for all of us. Star Wars Jedi Survivor got its gameplay trailer. It comes out.
Well, you say all of us. It was mostly Reese.
Yeah, it's me just being hyped.
Game comes out March 17th. It looks great.
Oh. It looks fantastic.
I mean, it's the best thing. It's the best thing to come out of Star Wars in like decades.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this is I'm glad they got the team back to do this, and I'll be interested to see.
They gave the main guy a beard now.
I'll be interested to see.
He is Episode 3 Obi-Wan.
Do you reckon this is going to be set during the original trilogy now, or do you reckon this is going to be set? I've got a weird feeling it might be set before the sequel trilogy.
No, people broke it down saying no, it's still set before the original trilogy.
Well,
it's set before Andor. So it was mentioned somewhere online. I think it's like 4 years later after the first game.
Oh yeah, and Jedi Fallen Order takes place something like 20 years before. How long before the events of A New Hope?
Revenge of the Sith was 19 years before A New Hope. The original Fallen Order was 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. So this would be roughly 10 years before A New Hope.
Right, so 10 years after this, A New Hope's going to happen. So obviously, you're not going to beat Darth Vader in this one because Darth Vader has to live until Return of the Jedi.
Makes you question. Ilfez, you wouldn't be Darth Vader at all. Makes you question then if we get another Jedi game, if it will take place during the original trilogy then, or if it will like follow a completely different cast or something.
Oh, I think it's up to Disney on this one, really.
Yeah, that could happen because we know during the original trilogy now that Ahsoka was running around.
Yeah,
just beating the crap out of Inquisitors.
So there was some Jedi running around during the events of the original trilogy, which means the Emperor really needs to sack his HR department, who told him, "Yeah, you got it done, 60. Yeah, that's all fine. Yeah, we got all of them."
Yep.
It's also last year that it's also last night that I learned that apparently all the Thrawn books that they've been making aren't actually canon.
Well, it depends what they plan to do with the new Ahsoka series.
But for God's sake, if you're going to rip off or like just milk a character that readers used to love, fine, at least make it canon.
Like the way they wrote him in Star Wars Rebels was amazing.
Yeah, because most of his character from that was from the original Thrawn trilogy. It was just shunted about 20 years earlier in the timeline.
So,
let's just say, thank God they didn't try to cover anything up with the Aftermath books.
Oh yeah. The next before we get into a massive rant about Star Wars, next trailer is from the makers of Celeste, Earthblade, comes out in 2024.
Kind of early to announce it then.
Yeah,
you would normally expect it to with like a game like this. You normally expect them to have announced it like kind of a few months before.
Especially considering that Celeste, especially considering that most of this show was very focused on 2023 games.
Yeah,
seems a bit weird. You have this one now that's a 2024 release, but it looks like they're taking their time to make it. It looks pretty good. It looks more action-packed than Celeste was.
Yeah, the thing that I think is weird is that I've got the stream up here. This trailer is like extremely blurry, even compared to all the other trailers they've had.
And it's weird because Celeste does not look blurry at all. But again, this is in development, obviously, so they might have time. They're obviously going to have time to clean that up.
Yeah, I think this may just be like an early build video that they just gave them.
So what?
Maybe. I mean,
did you guys play Celeste?
No. All I really know about is that it focuses very heavily on mental health, and apparently it was all made in a game jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very accurate description of it.
Yeah, it's also a very popular speedrunners game.
Yeah, everyone was like talking about it for like a good while when it came out.
Well, it did get.
I think it even got nominated for Game of the Year, didn't it?
It did. It was the first indie game, I believe, to be nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh damn! All right.
It was definitely the one that broke that broke the barrier for indie games. What I found interesting though is these guys got started as Ouya developers.
Oh, rip the Ouya.
In all fairness, they were. I think like the people who made the Ouya were like really trying to promote people to create games for them.
Oh,
if I remember, they were like giving them budgets and everything.
Oh no, that was a disaster. The Free the Games Fund. It was basically whatever the campaign did, they'd match it. So a load of people just basically price hiked their games on Kickstarter, so they got a load of money off Ouya.
Yeah. That's what really crippled that company.
Yeah.
That and the fact that they were the people making it were morons.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I know I should be polite to people, but they were really stupid with how they handled the development of that console.
The thing is, the console sounded like it would be really good. They just went it the complete wrong way.
The thing is, the console sounded like a good idea until you stop and thought about it. I mean, I think Scott the Woz's rant on micro consoles is perfect because he's absolutely right. They are and always have been stupid.
I'd also argue Josh Scorcher's one was good as well.
I think his roundabout is good, but they both had the point. Why would you, if you like mobile phone games or indie games, you likely have a way of playing them already. Why would you buy this?
Yeah, there's no point buying a console just to play your phone games again.
On the
but
TV
how?
as well.
But how else would I be able to play Crossy Roads on the TV?
I don't want to play Crossy Road on the TV. I want to play Crossy Road on
But
the
Calvin,
phone.
you play as a chicken crossing the road.
But that's the thing,
It's literally the Bo Burnham song.
But no one's buying no one is buying an iPhone because for Crossy Road. They're buying Crossy Road because it's on the iPhone, or your Android, which everyone has that.
Unless you're me, in which case you got your first iPhone for Fruit Ninja.
Oh yeah, true. Next game.
Which, yes, I know I was on other things. Shut up, I was an idiot.
Next game, Dune Awakening. Still didn't really show off much of this game. I don't know what this is.
No, it was all just another CGI trailer, so you can't glean anything from it.
What are you talking about? It's obvious. It's an MMORPG based in Dune.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't need an MMO. Really? Like
just I don't know. Just do a fucking Old Republic game or something.
Yeah, but the thing about Dune is, while it does lend itself to an expanded universe as a concept, it doesn't lend itself to this kind of game narratively.
Yeah, because the source material just isn't there. Like you see all the Star Wars games, like I just brought up with the Old Republic MMO. The old lore is there to facilitate that type of game.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. When you take a look at all the other stuff that they're making like games out of, Lord of the Rings, there are numerous notes on how Middle Earth works. With Star Wars, there are tons of books and encyclopedias. Yeah. With Dune, there was mostly just, I think, the 3 books that Frank Herbert made, and then his son just made the rest.
Yeah, it's not a huge book series, but was very well done. I mean, all those books are huge.
Yeah.
Hence why David Lynch's first film has it kind of both works and doesn't work, because it's trying to cram in so much plot in such a short space of time.
Let's be honest, at this point they're just milking the film from last year.
Which is a shame, because the film from last year is really good. Like, unbelievably good. I'm looking forward to Dune Part 2.
I still haven't watched the first one. I'm planning on watching them both, like, one after the other. Like, I watched the first one the day before I go to cinema to watch the second.
I think that's a very good idea, considering...
I did that with Blade. I did that with Blade Runner when I watched 2049, and I really like the fact that I did that. I think I got a better fit from that.
Yeah, because I feel like both that film, it does... Blade Runner 2049 is perfectly blends into the original Blade Runner. So
yeah, definitely.
But the question is, though, which version of Blade Runner did you watch? Because there's about 10 different versions and director's cuts now.
Whichever one my dad had on DVD.
I imagine it was the final cut. That's the one that seems to show up as a default most of the time now.
I don't know. It was like literally just as 2049 came out in the cinema.
Well, I'm assuming.
I don't know then.
I'm assuming it must have been one of the director's cuts, because it had the unicorn dream sequence in it, which is weird, because that was
which led to so many arguments and debates.
Can I say I've got one of my unpopular opinions about in media is I think the original theatrical cut of Blade Runner is one of the best ones.
Oh, here we go. About 50 people are going to jump in the comments now. Tell you why you're wrong.
I'm sorry.
50 people. Reese, do you really think we have that many viewers?
I'm sorry.
No, Ali, trust me. With these type of fans, they search Blade Runner in the tags all the time.
Our Anime Amigos video. I checked our spring 2022 Anime Amigos episode. It has 19 views. And that's our main thing.
Can I actually add something to this one? I'm going to tag Blade Runner in this just to see what happens. But the thing is, that for me, I've always thought the whole is Decker a replicant has always been a dumb debate.
Why?
Because, why would you build a robot that is not only apathetic to do its job, but then is also pretty much incapable of doing it? Like, every time he goes up against replicants, he gets his ass kicked. And I've always thought... And also, it's not in the book, for example. In the book, Deckard is confirmed to be a human. Yeah. I always feel like it's a plot line that was bolted on. I think the whole point of Rachel's character is that many of the characters is anyone can be a replicant. That was the whole point of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Linkara has just entered the room. Anyway, move on.
Move on quickly before I piss off any more Philip K. Dick purists.
Especially because the last thing is, I've just Googled how many versions there are. There's 7 different cuts and versions of Blade Runner.
I'm not getting down that rabbit hole.
And also, quick question, do we really think the final cut is actually the final cut?
No, never. Next game up was a trailer for Forspoken, and the demo's just come out. I played about 20 minutes before we started this. It's a pretty good demo.
I asked this many times before. I said this many times before. I feel like I'm like the only person who actually really cares about this game. I'm quite excited for it. I think it's going to be pretty good.
I feel like Forspoken's luster has kind of been taken off a little bit. Not completely, a little bit, by the fact it's coming out the same year as Final Fantasy 16.
And also just due to how cringy that dialogue was in the earlier trailers.
Yeah, the dialogue. I will say the dialogue is a lot better in the final game.
I'll say this now. I had to suffer with the dialogue in Strangers in Paradise. This is not going to be any more. Actually, no. I had to struggle with the dialogue in fucking Saints Row. This is going to be nothing.
True. At least with Chaos, it was more memeable.
Here's something actually. I'm going to put this on record. Those voice lines that you saw in the demo, that was just incredibly stupid and stupid to the point it was hilarious. Those were the only ones that were actually funny. The rest was just boring, usual, insipid, emo Final Fantasy dialogue. I thought which is a shame.
The way the camera moved on the chat we're recording this on, I thought Reese fell over.
No, I was just grabbing my charger from my laptop.
All right. So next game up is big one. Hideo Kojima finally unveiled the game we all thought was going to end the show.
Yes, DS2. DS2, I can't believe it. Hideo Kojima is making a remake of Dark Souls 2.
No, he's making Death Stranding 2.
Ah, fuck.
But
I was hoping they'd actually make Scarlet the first thing good.
I thought but now none of us are huge fans of Death Stranding, so I'm assuming none of you guys are going to be that interested to play Death Stranding 2.
Not really, no.
Death Stranding 1 just didn't seem like a game for me. I don't think this game's really going to be much better, different.
I think Kojima wants to add something new this time. It did seem like he wants to add a little bit new. Like I think he knows he can't do the exact same plot beats this time.
Which means that in the next game, we'll actually see a topless Guillermo del Toro. It's the clove shower scene in the last one.
What about... Okay, I'll take the review for Death Stranding 2 whenever it comes out. Probably 2024.
Okay.
But, I mean, it does look like Norman Reedus' character has aged quite significantly between games.
Yeah, I have expected him to be a skeleton in Death Stranding 3.
Again, it's a hell of a... You can sort of tell, though, with everyone involved in that game, they're very excited to be involved in it, and they really like the roles they're given and the sort of task at hand.
Well, I think it's just because Norman Reedus is just glad to be away from The Walking Dead for once.
Yeah, I'll put it this. I mean, I think he was just glad when that whole thing was over because those ratings were sad.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking of the joke. Why is his hair grey? Oh, it's just all the stress of him having to carry the Walking Dead franchise on his back.
So, the thing is, I think this one will be very interesting. I think it'll be very interesting to play a game set in an apocalyptic society that's collapsed post-pandemic. In a sense, like I know I know that's a bit of. I mean, I'm probably saying the wrong word because we are still technically in a pandemic, but we're in a much better space than we were 2 years ago. But the point is, we've now lived through the most deadly portion of COVID. How do you think that's going to affect people? Are people's appetites to play apocalyptic settings going to go down with that? Because it feels like
The Last of Us Part 2 was heavily played during the peak of COVID-19.
Yeah, but you also got to remember The Walking Dead had its worst ratings during the peak of COVID-19.
Well, was that just due to that series going on for like 10 seasons?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing that. You're seeing it's you're asking that with The Walking Dead. A series that has been so milk dry, they've done with all the cows and the horses, and now they're looking for rhinos.
Yeah, but the thing is for me though is even by the I mean, obviously we'll tell based on sales, and again, this game is at least 2024, so we're looking at quite a while till we see this game again.
Also, you're really asking that. You are aware on how rabid Kojima fans are, right?
Yeah, that is gonna.
You are aware on how much. Like, for God's sake, they praise that guy as a god so much, it makes Denji with Makima look reasonable.
I will say, I would say I am a big Kojima fan, if I'm honest. Like,
the only thing by him I've really played is Zone of the Enders.
I love the Metal Gear Solid games. Like
Metal Gear Rising.
I love Metal Gear Solid so much, and I just think. I mean, the reason why Metal Gear Solid wasn't here is Konami does not want to go anywhere near anything Kojima's involved with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about the Game Awards. Konami is never going to be at them ever because when Jeff called him out publicly on stage, he was burning that bridge forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that was why I was saying, when those people were saying, oh, is any of the Metal Gear Solid stuff going to be at this? I'm like, no, it fucking isn't. Of course not. Next game up, Immortals of Avam. I completely forgot this was a thing.
That was just another pure CGI trailer.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it looked a bit like I don't know. I got very MCU Asgard vibes from it, I guess.
Yeah, that was pretty weak. Then they showed a gameplay, an extended trailer for Tekken 8. They didn't have the release date on this trailer, which is weird considering it has now got a release date of the 12th of August.
Can I just say, I said this last night, I'll say it again, this is a very bad time to be a Soul Calibur fan.
It is.
I just want Soul Calibur 7, damn it.
Who publishes the Soul Calibur games?
Namco, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Namco.
Oh no, you're going to be waiting a while then if they're concentrating on Tekken.
Oh my god, yeah, I just want it. I just want more Soul Calibur.
I think the environment's right for more Soul Calibur. I don't know what, especially with Evo exploding in popularity after its break, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But I mean, it came back and it had a big explosion in popularity since PlayStation's bought them. I think the time is right for a new Soul Calibur.
In that case, who do you think the new guest fighter will be?
I think they have to go a bit bizarre with this one and do something like on Xbox you'd get someone like someone from Doom Guy or something like that. And
I don't know if they haven't done like the whole different characters of different consoles since 4, I think.
Or if you did,
yeah, because that was one with the Star Wars characters, wasn't it?
Yeah, Star Wars was the one with the different ones. And I was going to say if you did it on PlayStation, you'd have like Joel from The Last of Us or something. But yeah. I think
if we were doing that, I'd probably say the main protagonist from Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, that would be an interesting one. Yeah, Square Enix, I could see doing that. Square and Bandai Namco have a good relationship with each other. Yeah. I think they should actually ask Mr. Sakurai.
Oh, actually, I do have an idea. Maybe 2B.
2B would be a good one.
Yeah.
2B would definitely fit in that, especially considering that we're getting Nier Automata anime next month. Tekken 8 looks great, though. I mean, interestingly, that we're getting Jun Kazama back.
Yeah, and she's been dead since Tekken 3.
Yeah, like, seriously, what the fuck's that? There's going to be some explaining for how this is the case.
Katana, you got some splaining to do. That's a joke that no one in my generation will get.
No, I got it.
I said my generation, I'm Gen Z.
Oh, yeah, true.
Gen Z, boomer.
I am not a boomer. I'm born in 1990. I'm a millennial, for God's sake.
Oh, there's that classic dementia kicking in again, Cal. You're getting confused.
Shut up. I admit I was feeling old when I was turning 30, and suddenly this joke is with me forever.
Calvin was auditioned to be the next David Attenborough, but they denied him because he was too old.
I hate you guys. What do you guys think of Tekken 8's extended look?
Again, it's same as I said with the Street Fighter 6. It's such a shame I'm not a Tekken fan because this game does look really good.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be one of the first big games to be released with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, which is funny because I've slowly been converting Ren to being a Tekken fan because we've just been talking about all the lore. And he didn't realize how crazy it was.
Wasn't he already a Tekken fan?
Not as much into the lore. He was always more Street Fighter.
Yeah, he's a lapsed Tekken fan.
Yeah.
I mean, comes out the 12th of August. I'm dead excited for that.
Same.
Next game up, Nightingale.
Every time I see this game, I think, wow, this looks bad.
Yeah, same. I've never thought this game's looked good anytime we've seen it. What about you, Reese?
No. Just looks... Yeah.
This is the third time we've seen this at one of Jeff Keighley's things as well, and it still doesn't have a release date.
Yeah, like, stop showing it. Give me something significant and like a release date or even a release window.
Like, for God's sake, yeah, we keep seeing Forspoken, but at the very least, that one feels like it's improving.
So yeah, at least with Forspoken, we actually remember it. I always forget this game exists whenever we see it.
Yeah,
same.
Same. It's like it's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that came out. Huh.
Yeah. They just put it to one side.
Baldur's Gate comes out of early access in August and will release fully.
Woo.
Not really our thing, so we're not really going to comment too much on it. But which is it's weird because I would have thought you'd be a big into Baldur's Gate, Elliot.
I've not been as into D&D as much as I have been, as much as I was in the past, honestly.
Game called Wayfinder. Didn't really do much for me, this one.
I can't even fucking remember this one.
I thought this one was actually the next game in the Orcs Must Die series, just the way it looks. And the whole mechanic.
Let remind myself again about what Wayfinder trailer.
This one. Yeah, this one didn't look that great.
Yes. Oh no, this is the one where I messaged Blizzard called they want their art style back. Then there was one of my favorite announcements on the night, and this is weird. This is one of my favorite because it's such an insignificant one for a lot of people. Fire Emblem Engage is getting a paid expansion pass that's going to run throughout most of next year. Day one, you'll get the DLC. Day one of the DLC, you'll get all 3 of the house leaders from Fire Emblem 3 houses. And I'm dead excited for Fire Emblem Engage. It's one of my most anticipated games of next year.
I'm not excited. Weirdly enough, I'm not as excited for it as I would like to be.
That's why I'm glad I got the review job. Don't
get me wrong. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be great. Every time I see it, I just think I feel like I should be more hyped, but I'm not.
But this isn't. What were you gonna say, Reese? Sorry, I just realized I was about
to. No, just gonna say. Well, is that because you were a bit burnt out after 3 houses, Elliot?
3
houses 3 times.
Oh no, I haven't beaten 3 houses 3 times. It's I think it's partly 3 hopes. I just did not have that much fun with 3 hopes.
Oh yeah.
Right, I'm seeing what you mean with that one, but
and also I feel like also, if I'm being honest, I still do not like the designs of the protagonists.
Well, the thing for me as well about this trailer was they made this game look so much worse than it has in previous trailers. Like, why did the color palette look so washed out, considering the color palette in all the other trailers has looked so good?
Another thing I feel like this game that kind of draws me away from this game is this one. Definitely feels like they're banking off the nostalgia for everyone else with the series rather than trying to do their own thing.
This was
they have the spirits of like Marth and like the previous Fire Emblem characters. I just think Why? Make your own story. Leave them out of it.
Well, that's because this is a game that was delayed, Elliot. This was supposed to be a game for the anniversary. That's why you've had the Fire Emblem characters show up here. But I definitely take your point to it. But that I'm just saying that's the explanation for why they're here. A virtual concert was happening after the show in Sky. None of us watched it because none of us had the game. We were all
tired,
and we all had to go to bed.
Yep.
There was a music performance that led into a trailer for Diablo 4. Has its release date of June the 6th.
And I ain't playing that crap.
I'm not into Diablo.
No, I'm not into Diablo either. I don't see a reason.
I tried Diablo 3 on the PS3. It's just not for me.
Next up is expansion pass Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores. Means my theory about what I heard about the fact if you're nominated for Game of the Year, you're not allowed to advertise DLC is bullshit. Because, but I mean, it's going to be set.
Proved a lot of people wrong as we didn't get Elden Ring DLC.
A shame, but I'm interested what they do with the Los Angeles setting for Forbidden West. But the one thing I found interesting about this is something they didn't mention in the trailer is it's PlayStation 5 only. The DLC...
I must have missed that.
No, it's not. It wasn't in the trailer. It just was announced this morning. Basically, the DLC is PlayStation 5 only. It's very similar to Final Fantasy VII Remake's DLC was PlayStation 5 only.
In all fairness, with Final Fantasy, with the expansion for Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was because Final Fantasy VII was originally PlayStation 4 exclusive. So when it came up to PS5, I just thought we'll add in a bit more, make it worth it.
Yeah, whereas with this one, this has released on both PS4 and PS5 at the same time.
Also, I do kind of like this. With the first game's DLC, it was cold. With this game's DLC, it's hot. Do you think with the third one, where they'll just do electric types?
Ha! No, it's grass. I think grass types has a chance. So.
Oh, dude, the entire game's already grass types. Grass will still give the electric boys a chance.
So, I mean, this comes out in April. It looks pretty. It looks pretty all right.
It just looks like more of the same, but in a new location.
It just looks like more Horizon.
Yeah.
Now this is a game. This is a live service game that's being made by Bandai Namco and Amazon and published by Amazon Games. It's called Blue Protocol, and I get a sense Amazon's not touched this at all. They've just published it because this game looks quality.
Yeah. Though I will say it does feel very much like a. It just feels like a Cyberpunk Genshin Impact with the art style.
Yeah, it does. But I must be honest. I think I like the art style of it. I mean, obviously, we're big anime fans, so it probably helps on that one. But it does. I'm interested. Put it this way: I'm not jumping to play this, but if the reviews are good, I'll check this out.
I just want to know how much it's been crippled by being a live service game.
That's a good question. Like, that's another thing I want to know going into it. Like, is this going to be anime Babylon's Fall?
No.
Oh God, which is, I mean, there's a...
No, the difference is, you said this game looks quality from this. Who was thinking Babylon's Fall looked good from the very beginning?
Yeah, let's be honest, that one did not look very good from the beginning.
A game so bad, it didn't even last a full year.
Like, yeah, it's not. It's because the servers are going to shut down in, like, in a couple of months, actually, February.
Yeah.
There's a trailer for Remnant 2, not really my thing. It looked alright, but...
Looks alright.
Yeah.
This is the point where I'm starting to wane a little bit. I'm like, okay, can we start wrapping this up because I want to go to bed.
Well, first, we're just tired.
Yeah, but it's also like, at least if I'm tired... I don't mind being tired if I'm getting good content, but at this point I'm not getting great content. But then it picked up a little bit because there was a look at a very good looking Transformers game. I mean, I'll be interested to see what this game will look like, but this new Transformers game looks quite interesting.
Yeah, people have always translated the Cybertronian text in it because the Transformers nerds are just massive nerds.
Oh yeah. Completely. Not much to really say about it. We don't know that much about this game at this point.
Yeah, it's bringing in an old villain from the comics, Legion. So it's just a giant horde, basically.
Was that the Marvel comic series or the IDW one?
It's appeared in multiple of them.
Okay, right. Next up, Company of Heroes Free Console Edition comes out next year. I don't know much about Company of Heroes.
Me neither.
Behemoth VR didn't look great.
Yeah, it was posted the Meta Quest, which is like $1.50 for the pro version. So skip.
Next up was Fall Guys Christmas event. I mean, looks all right. Hopefully they'll run that Winter Wonderland as its own mode.
They were showing off the new SpongeBob skin.
Oh, the SpongeBob skin's in the season pass for the current one, along with Skyrim of all things.
Yeah, and also Netflix Ultraman.
Oh yeah, Netflix Ultraman is in there as well. Yeah, this is such a bizarre season. Then Keegan-Michael Key came out to talk about to do not some of his funniest material to date.
That drags so long.
Yeah, like you could just hear the uncomfortable silence.
And it's a shame because Keegan-Michael Key is very funny.
Yeah,
when he's in the right environment.
Not those strengths.
Like, have you ever seen the gag he does with Jordan Peele, where he plays Luther, who's Barack Obama's anger translator? So every time Obama gives his calm speech and he's in the background saying, "Listen up, you dumb assholes."
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like what Hugh Dennis used to do when Mock the Week was a thing.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. It's like
rest in peace, Mock the Week.
It's there's a great one where he basically just yells in the camera. It comes from Hawaii, where I was born. I have a birth certificate. I have a goddamn birth certificate. Luther, dial it down. He just goes, "Damn, Luther, why did you do that?" And it's such a funny gag. I love that one. But he's playing Toad in the Mario movie, so we got another extended look at that. And I actually really like this extended look at the anime. It looks like a lot of Easter eggs are in there. I'm kind of getting a bit more sold on Chris Pratt as Mario. Like, I don't think he's great in the role, but I think he's doing okay in it.
My one thought when I watched it was just, good God, I would not want to be walking through this world drunk.
Yeah.
How many fatalities do you think they've had?
That's the R-rated cut, Elliot.
Yeah, especially with the clear pipes, they'll just be all smeared with blood in the real world.
Oh God, Peach, you are heading to a health and safety lawsuit.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, Mushroom Kingdom does not fulfill OSHA compliance at all.
What? Okay, what do you guys think then about? Oh God, what do you guys think of the Mario movie overall from the 3 trailers we've seen?
What I expect.
Yeah, it looks decent. I'm still okay on Chris Pratt as Mario.
But I still do not care.
The rest of the casting is really good as well, though. Like, Jack Black sounds great as Bowser. Charlie Day sounds great as Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, anything she's in, I'm loving at the minute. Because she was brilliant in Last Night in Soho. She's brilliant in The Menu, which is a weird movie in of itself. Basically, it's a horror movie of what if Gordon Ramsay went nuts and decided to kill all the guests.
Huh.
Sounds like a typical episode of Kitchen Nightmares.
Pretty much, yeah. There's okay, so that'll be interesting. I mean, I'm gonna go see the Mario movie in cinemas when it comes out.
I think we all have to. We're doing the Anime Amigas episode on this, surely.
But yeah. Okay, let me ask you something on 2 questions on this one. First one, how do you feel compared to like the build up for the 2 Sonic movies that came out compared to this? And do we think Nintendo skips a game in April now so that the Mario movie is what every Nintendo fan is concentrating on?
Well, the build-up has definitely been better than Sonic, seeing as we didn't get a Nightmare Fuel Mario.
Yeah, it's true.
Meow.
What? That being said, though, when we got the Sonic 2 trailer, I think I was way more excited for Sonic 2 than I was for Mario.
Well, you're a Sonic fan.
Yeah, that's not fair.
And also, we had a good Sonic movie beforehand. We haven't had a good Mario movie yet.
But even when we got the second trailer for Sonic, where they had the new design, it was like, okay, I think they're moving in the right direction with this. What about you, Reese? How do you feel this compares with the Mario and the Sonic movies build, and both the Sonic movies build ups?
I think there was more of a build up for Sonic because it was touted as the first big video game film that's going to be good in a very long time. Whereas this Mario film,
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, but I felt like the Sonic one built up the hype more than Detective Pikachu did.
I also think.
I don't know. I think I was more excited for Detective Pikachu, honestly.
I think it was a case by case basis on this one, but okay. So let's go to the second question. Do we think Nintendo's skipping a game in April so that everyone's focused on the Mario movie?
Unless they, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure out when they release Advance Wars at this point. I feel like that might be an April one.
Oh, that could be a good April one, actually. Yeah, Advance Wars in April. Yeah. It's like, yeah, no, everyone's going to see the Mario movie. They won't give a shit if we think we're being insensitive. I think the only other thing I think they might do is, and this is really, I'm willing it into existence, they'll bring back Mario 35 for the film.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I think 35 was just a thing.
I know, it's so annoying because it was so good.
I disagree. I was not a fan.
Yeah, I know.
I really didn't like it. I'll be honest.
I know. I'm the only one in the group who likes Mario 35.
Yeah. Like Tetris 99 works well because it's completely random every game, and you don't know how it's gonna go. With Mario, it's always just, oh, we start World 1. Oh, we start World 1-1. Oh, we go to World 1-3. Oh, it was World 1-1. It just gets, yeah.
I think it's because I can win in Mario 35 a lot more than I could win in Tetris 99.
Proof exactly. The only reason you like it is because you can win in it.
Then there's a new game by Don't Nod, who are teaming up with a couple of other developers. I mean, it's very different to Life is Strange. It's an action RPG called The Banishers.
First of all, it's probably going to be better than Life is Strange, seeing as it doesn't have the Life is Strange title on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Other than that, not much I'd say about this one. It looks interesting, but
well, it's because there's barely enough gameplay in it.
Yeah, we saw a bit of gameplay at the very end, but that was just like a bit of walking, no combat.
Here's the thing, though. It says end of 2023. In my head, I'm hearing, actually, that's early 2024. They're never going to get this out in the end of 2023. This is going to get pushed back to 2024.
I feel like they can.
I would have said so if we saw more gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, we can still see playing. There's still other opportunities to see gameplay throughout the next year.
Oh, true. And if we do keep getting that slow and steady build for it,
and you need to remember the end of 2023. That's still a year away.
Yeah, this could come out in a year. I think there's a possibility of that. Warhammer Space Marines 2 comes out next year.
I mean, I'm interested in it. I've kind of gotten a bit more interested in the Warhammer lore, at least.
Ren will be happy.
Yeah.
It looks quite far along considering it's labelled alpha footage.
Yeah, for something labelled alpha footage, that looks really good. So I'm wondering what the final one's going to look like.
What's due out next year?
Just 2023. No fixed date, though.
No fixed date, which does leave me a little skeptical, but I think I believe it. Meet Your Maker, sort of. I don't quite know. It's sort of a building.
From the looks of it, it's I could guess it's like a co-op roguelike mixed with a bit of Minecraft.
Yeah. This one looks like it. This one looks like it'll either be my favorite game or something I don't really enjoy all that much.
I see it as more just something that'll come out. I'll probably play for like an hour and won't go back to.
Yeah, that's probably me, especially if it goes to Game Pass and it's not going to cost me anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first saw the trailer, initially I thought it was going to be for Starfield with the whole sci-fi in space.
Then we have it comes out in April, by the way. A couple of
April 4th.
Took an ad break. There's a trailer for the upcoming Splatoon 3 event that's happening this weekend.
Woo!
So that'll be cool to play a bit of Salmon Rush there. There's another trailer for Blood Bowl 3. Not my thing.
Bloodborne 3?
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
They just skipped Bloodborne 2?
Then there was a trailer for the next gen update for Witcher 3. It's coming in next week.
That should be fun. That should be cool.
I'm very interested. Yeah. I'm very interested to see what the reaction will be, especially after watching the Digital Foundry video on it. The Digital Foundry video definitely gives me confidence in it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I mean, The Witcher 3 looks great enough already. Any like improvement is going to be just good.
Yeah, especially because they've doubled the frame rate now.
Yeah,
much better to play.
Even though the frame rate in the original game was good, in my opinion.
It was a solid 30 in the base game.
Yeah.
Trailer, I think this trailer for a game they should have detailed much better. Crash Bandicoot, a new Crash Bandicoot multiplayer game, Crash Team Rumble.
I'd like to know I'm pretty sure everyone was like so excited, like, oh yes, Crash 5, here we go. Then all of a sudden, just some fucking basketball game. That's why I said, disappointment.
I'm gonna say it's not. I don't think that was the reaction because the rumors were going around that it was going to be a multiplayer game that was going to get shown off here. Now, considering everything, I don't know if I'm going to pick up Crash Team Rumble. If it's free to play, I might do it. Otherwise, I'm not entirely sure. I might pick it up. It depends on the circumstances and the scenarios at the time.
I just don't care about it. Again, these kinds of multiplayer games just aren't my thing.
You're definitely more of a single-player experience for you, isn't it, Elliot? I mean, Splatoon is the obvious exception, but...
Yeah.
You're definitely more of a person who likes single-player experiences.
I also just don't like these sort of party games. I feel like most companies just fail to do them.
Well, it's weird because we always have a really good time with Mario Party, but again, it's only when everyone's over.
Mario Party is the exception, though.
Yeah, there's always an exception to the rule. I'm interested on your opinion on this one, Reese. Crash Team Rumble, because you and I both remember Crash Bash coming out on PS1.
Yeah, which is what I likened this to when we first saw it. Said, "Oh, Crash Bash 2."
I was 2 years old when that came out. I was a little baby. Little baby.
So, yeah, no, and the thing is, Crash Bash obviously has not aged very well in attempting to be Crash Bandicoot Mario Party.
I mean, Catacurus's video was pretty much proof of that.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys watch his VODs? Because he actually 100% completed it.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That was so painful to watch.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What about... I mean, we'll obviously see at the time. As I say, I'm wondering how much this game is going to be affected by the merger with the attempted merger with Microsoft, because the FTC did confirm just before this show that they are planning to sue to block Microsoft's acquisition of Activision.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know how that's going to play out. It means that they're going to go through the courts. They're going to determine whether it's legal for Microsoft to make this purchase or not.
Yeah. Well, at least everyone gets to reenact Star Wars: The Phantom Menace then, with trade deals.
Hopefully, they have the giant floating platforms.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love.
And hopefully, at some point, Phil Spencer just goes, "I love democracy."
Now we will elect a new Xbox head, one who will not let our tragedy go unnoticed.
Or just one of his underlings goes say, "Sir, is that legal?" And he just goes, "I will make it legal."
No, I won't be exclusive. No, you will be exclusive.
I love the idea of PlayStation scenarios like Darth Maul saying, "At last we will reveal ourselves to Microsoft. At last we will have our revenge."
And here's how I see it. At the minute, Xbox is the Sith, PlayStation is the Jedi, so Nintendo are the Ewoks.
See, I completely have it the other way around. I kind of want this deal to go through.
Yeah, I want this deal to go through. Who wouldn't want this deal to go through?
Well, especially
any chance to get Bobby Kotick out.
Now, here's the thing, Elliot, and for a self-assurance, I'm going to be very bold on this one, but I have it on good authority this will be the case. Bobby Kotick is out no matter what the circumstance of this deal is.
I don't know. I mean, I think the investors like him.
No, they don't.
Right, okay.
No, but everyone on the board hates him.
And what's more, the investors have already confirmed, basically, if this deal doesn't go through, we're out. We're gone.
Yeah.
And if that happens, Activision folds in 12 months.
Yeah.
Of the deal not falling through. So what will happen then is they'll sell off their IP to all sorts of different companies. So there's going to be like a bidding war for like Call of Duty, and there'll be a bidding war for Crash and Spyro. There'll be a bidding war for World of Warcraft and Overwatch. So it'd be a weird scenario where you could have Overwatch owned by Xbox and World of Warcraft owned by PlayStation, for example.
I don't know why. I kind of want Crash Bandicoot to be owned by Sega.
That would be a bizarre scenario.
I just feel like that would be funny.
Well, especially because Sega aren't even in the console wars anymore.
I love that. So Sonic, who's your new friend? Don't know. He doesn't say much. Whoa!
Unless you watch a Skylanders TV show in which he talks a lot.
Oh Christ! Don't remind me.
Yes, that is a thing. That is a thing.
Speaking of things that might, things that I'm going to turn to Elliot for. Lords of the Fallen. There's sort of another sequel to this Dark Souls similar game.
Do you know something funny? The original Lords of the Fallen, from what I've heard, was reviewed poorly. It was like really not that good. I watched this gameplay trailer. I'm actually excited. Yeah, this game actually looks quite good. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, what the fuck happened here? This looks all right. Reese, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it looks like Dark Souls, but everything's dialed up to 11.
That comes. No idea when it's coming out. There's a trailer for a game called with Mads Mikkelsen, Danny Trejo. But also.
Yeah, I found funny an amazing cast and Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice is in it, and I thought, yeah, these.
Well, it's about time he's done something since the 90s.
Like Jesus Christ, it's like there is a lot of big actors though in this. All fair play, like, it's called Crime Boss Rocky City. Comes out in May.
I was kind of half expecting this to be the DLC of Cyberpunk. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it looks all right. I mean, it looks all right, but this is one where I'm going, there's a lot coming out around that time. I want reviewers to tell me this is good before I go and pick it up.
Also, let's be honest, Crime Boss Rocky City sounds like the exact kind of a name you would make a mobile game. Yeah, that would be advertised on YouTube a lot and have adverts like that Mafia City game did.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. I'll say, what about let's move on to the next one, because I think there's not much we can really say about this one. We don't even know really too much about it. We'll get a couple more trailers in down the line.
Yeah.
There's a trailer for the new raid mode in Modern Warfare 2. I'm not really interested.
No.
Then we got the trailer for the Phantom Liberty update coming to Cyberpunk 2077, starring Idris Elba.
Which instantly makes it better.
I mean, oh my god, the likeness of him in this is really good.
I just hope they have they have like an Easter egg where he just goes, "Do I look like I need your power?"
Tiny magic hedgehog destroyed. I must be honest though, as much as Edge Runners is such a good show, I just keep getting reminded that Cyberpunk is basically a GTA clone in a Cyberpunk setting. That's all. And I know there's a lot more to it than that.
I mean, from what I've heard, the game's definitely been vastly improved now.
It has been improved from what I've seen of it, but they just can't convince me. I did say if Cyberpunk Edge Runners won best adaptation, I would play the PS4, PS5 version on stream. But thankfully for avoiding content bots, it didn't win, annoyingly.
Yeah, Arcane won, rightfully so. That show is amazing.
Yeah, I was not disappointed that Arcane took it. I wish Cyberpunk had got it, but Arcane is not a bad choice. I mean, the only bad choice in there was Uncharted.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
At the same time, though, I don't think I had like any other video game stuff, video game adaptations that were good.
Yeah, like the Halo TV show cannot be nominated for this.
Or Resident Evil.
Oh
God.
Oh. I would have loved it just so like the clip they showed during it would have been the girl talking about Zootopia porn.
Yeah. Especially if they got the presenters with the voice actors from Zootopia.
Actually, here's something kind of funny, a bit off topic, but during one of the awards, something that made me kind of cringe with laughter was when the cast from The Last of Us TV show and The Last of Us game try saying the things at the exact same time and just completely biffed it.
Oh, they failed miserably at that.
Yeah. You could just imagine them afterwards going, no practice. We did not practice that.
Yep. We can tell.
And just like, no shit. If you have practiced that, I will be shocked that they were still hiring you.
Okay, next game up, Armored Core 6, new game from FromSoft. This was heavily rumored for ages. It's coming out sometime next year for Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One.
Who's ready to play? Who's ready to play as the president of the United States driving the mech again?
No, that was Metal Wolf Chaos. Yeah, so Armored Core, you basically play as a mercenary, and you're basically a pawn by these giant corporations.
Oh, so Gundam.
Meta commentary.
Yeah, this is where IBO got a lot of inspiration from.
Yeah, Iron Blooded Orphans owes a lot to Armored Core.
Yeah, especially because even the system they use, the Elijah Vagina that the pilots use that wire them directly into the Gundams, came straight from Armored Core.
It was great for I think it's great that FromSoft is taking a chance at it, considering that they've built up their audience now with their Souls games, and now we're going to say, right, now we've got a big audience, let's try Armored Core again.
Well, don't forget, it was Armored Core that put them on the map.
Armored Core
already had a pretty big audience. Yeah, it's just Souls like really make them the massive company that they are now.
Those sales were dipping though towards the end of Armored Core's previous entries.
Well, that's also because they had established the Soul series by then, with Demon Souls out of 2009.
I feel like Armored Core, if like FromSoft can get this working, I feel like Armored Core, if they keep this up, could be a good supplementary franchise to go alongside all their Souls games.
Oh, very easily, because it was Armored Core that actually got them to that made them enough money to make the Soul series. So, because before this, they only did Kingsfield.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember correctly from what I heard. So FromSoft was kind of struggling a little bit while they were creating Demon Souls. It was Hidetaka Miyazaki that kind of came up with some of the suggestions with it, and then after Dark Souls became such a success, he became president of the entire company.
Yeah, at that point, it's pretty much only Armored Core keeping it afloat, because apart from that, they were doing some very generic, badly reviewed action games that were losing money.
The only game I can really think of them outside of Kingsfield and Armored Core back then was Kuon.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Armored Core 6, is it going to make next year like they say it is?
I'm personally not sure, because we've not seen enough.
I'm skeptical. I feel like a lot of that team are probably going to be working on Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah, even if you
going forward.
Even if you say you're getting the B team to do the Elden Ring DLC, I feel like this is a big effort project. I think that's going to put it this way. If we don't see anything at E3, because I imagine this is a late 2023 game if it is coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
If we don't see anything at E3, then I'm going to be like, okay, is this game or Summer Games Fest as well? Is this game actually making 2023.
Yeah, especially considering the scale of these maps in previous games. They take a long time to make.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested if the audience has become fans of From Software through the Souls games and didn't have much knowledge of Armored Core. How are they going to go with going to this franchise? How are they going to feel with it? Do you reckon?
I mean, you're talking to one of them. I mean, I'm interested in playing it. I'm actually very late going to be gonna go back get a couple of the PS2 games, maybe see if some of the other games are on Steam or something.
Reese, what
Pick
about
them
you?
up.
Reese, what do you think? Because you've been obviously played both of them. How do you think the Souls fans are going to feel about going to Armored Core?
Well, combat is extremely different compared to the typical Souls franchise. Because did either of you play Demon X Machina?
I play a little.
Yes,
bit.
I did. I played a bit of that.
Right, so that's heavily inspired by Armored Core. So with Armored Core, there's a lot more in depth to it with loadouts because you need to factor in weight and fuel and your chassis because all that affects gameplay in a much bigger way.
You're going to get the review because you'll be definitely do the most. You'll be definitely doing the best one. Plus, I imagine
because there's a whole bunch of maths involved.
Also because he's one of the people who actually kind of enjoyed Demon X Machina, which I was not a fan of. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was the only one who actually finished it here.
I just thought the combat in it was bland. I like the loadout. I like all the loadouts and the experimentation stuff, but I just wasn't a big fan of the combat.
I don't know why Nintendo went nuts for that game.
Yeah, so if you're a fan of the loadout customization, you'll love it in Armored Core.
Okay.
It's much more in depth there.
Okay, speaking of stuff that knocks off things that Reese really likes, Wild Hearts. It got its new trailer, showed off a few of the new monsters, or I don't know if they're actually called monsters in this one.
I legit just thought, is this Monster Hunter stuff? It looks like Monster Hunter stuff. It's not. Why does it look like Monster Hunter then?
Wild Hearts is exactly like Monster Hunter. I'm sorry, a lot of people point out, you get this like flashy Devil May Cry style combat to it. It's like, no, it still looks really like Monster Hunter.
Yeah, especially because we've had flashy Devil May Cry combat in the past in Monster Hunter 2 with the whole skill system. Yeah. But the only thing changing for this is Fortnite building features. That's it.
Yeah, and I thought you could easily put that in a Monster Hunter game and it would not look out of place.
No, not at all.
And the thing is, though, Monster Hunter, I'm really getting into it thanks to Rise. And I thought Wild Hearts might be quite interesting to be on PS5 and Xbox because it's not got a Monster Hunter game on there, right? They haven't got a new Monster Hunter game on there right now. And they would
Monster Hunter Rise is going over just to that.
Yeah, and now Monster Hunter Rise is coming out in a couple of weeks. And that's going to... And I'm just like... Why would you pick up Wild Hearts now? Like to me, it's I just don't get the reason why you'd pick it up.
So Monster Hunter Rise, let's debate how long until Reese gets a platinum trophy.
If it's anything like the Monster Hunter World, it'll be a long time. Yeah, because the trophies are the most in depth of any game on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
I have a feeling you'll still do it.
No, it requires literally tens of thousands of hours worth of grinding, Elliot, to get the platinum.
And if
I'm giving you a week.
And if you think about it, are you going to be that interested to start back up a new profile compared to what you've already done on the Switch and all the effort you've put into your character on the Switch?
I'll probably just speedrun the campaign and multiplayer in a weekend or so.
See, the thing is, I mean, I'm only picking up the PS5 version to be a streamable one. The Switch is going to be my main port of call when it comes to Monster Hunter because I've just put so much effort into that character that I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to stick with this. I like the Switch version. It was built with it in mind. It works. And it's got a large inbuilt audience that still plays. Like it's not one of those games where a year after release I can pick it up and there's no one online to play with me. It's like, no, there's still tons of people playing online. Mostly from Japan. Oh
yeah, because you jump into multiplayer now with Sunbreak, the lobby's always packed. Because they keep doing new updates.
So, no one's interested in Wild Hearts. Next up...
Also, the problem with Wild Hearts as well, we only know of about 10 monsters so far, and that's it. Whereas compared to Monster Hunter, that has over 100.
Yeah, like Monster Hunter Rise has tons.
Yeah. At the same time, though, a lot of Monster Hunter Rise's monsters are returning ones, kind of. A fair number of them are.
It's about half. There's more new monsters in this game than there was in World.
But still, in that case, I think Monster Hunter Rise can get away with not I guess they could get away with not showing as much as Wild Hearts can.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, how many are actually in this game? Like, is this going to get very, very fucking repetitive?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to wait on reviews for Wild Hearts. If they say it's a genuine challenger to Monster Hunter, I'll be like, okay, I've got to try this out.
I don't think anyone's going to be saying that, let's be honest.
No, because I watched a couple of Monster Hunter YouTubers play it, and they say it's just a more basic version of Monster Hunter. It's not as in-depth.
No.
And the thing is, Monster Hunter Rise proved you don't have to be a massive Monster Hunter fan to get into a Monster Hunter game, because that game is very accessible for newcomers, and they didn't dumb down the gameplay to do it. I mean, look how much fun... Elliot, I know you didn't play it too much, but the times you did play it with us, you seemed like you were having fun with it.
I mean, yeah, I Monster Hunter was like one of the few series I really couldn't get into, just because I didn't feel like a lot of the games were beginner friendly. Meanwhile, Rise really was.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was like, I really want to get into Monster Hunter, but I'm not feeling it with some of these games. Like, World didn't convert me like a lot of other people did. But then I got into Rise, and I was like, wow, this works. This, like, really works. So, why was that not nominated for Game of the Year last year? That was such a travesty.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing about World as well. Because they made it with the new internal Monster Hunter team. Because the two teams work on Monster Hunter at any given time. And this was done by the other team. So they decided to go big for the Western debut, the big push. So they made maps more vertical, but the traversal options weren't there. You were still forced to run around slowly. Whereas compared to Rise, you have the wire bugs. So you have the same verticality in Rise, but you have better traversal options.
See, Monster Hunter Rise is already more interesting to discuss than Wild Hearts is. That's proving the point.
Difference is what Monster Hunter Rise is actually out. I feel like even if it wasn't, we'd still be talking about it more.
Yeah, I don't see what Wild Hearts is going to offer, but we'll wait until it comes out. Final game was an extended look at Final Fantasy 16 with the release date of June the 22nd. Now, normally my advice is take an initial Final Fantasy release date with a pinch of salt, because they are notorious for getting delayed. However, in this case, considering the press we've been hearing about it and the fact that it's mostly done, and they got the last 5% to get done, this is making June 22nd. This will be out on June 22nd.
I can see it.
Yeah.
And its last bit of marketing will come at E3, when it will be on the showroom floor, and they're then going to have a massive deal with that one. So, what do you guys think? We've already said on numerous occasions we love the look of Final Fantasy 16. This just extended that.
It's already my most hyped game of next year. There's no change in that.
Reese?
Yeah, but it looks fantastic, especially when we see the new summons and everything in this trailer.
I'm so interested to get into it and see what the map is like, see what the world is like, see what the side quests are like. I feel like this is the game where it's going to be like Xenoblade 3, where I'll want to do everything once I get into it.
Yeah. Hopefully, unlike Xenoblade, I actually like the combat in this one as well. No, it's not a joke. I've already explained many times why I don't like the combat in Xenoblade.
Yeah, and as I said, and as we said at the Christmas party, we'll agree to disagree on that one. So
agrees, Reese, despite the fact he wasn't there.
Well, because I agree with Calvin, and we know how good the combat actually is when you actually try.
I did try.
No, not for the way you've been describing.
Stop!
I'm just not that into it. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
It's fine. If you don't try, you don't know. It's fine.
You two, we signed the treaty. We're about to break it. Stop it immediately. Yeah. We signed the peace treaty. We're about to break it. It's the same thing we did with Ren and Last of Us Part 2. We signed a treaty. We agreed on that one.
I never signed shit with that one.
Yes, we know. That's why we know, Elliot. We know. So, God, what do we think about? I feel like 16 is going to be a bigger version of 15, if you know what I mean. Like in terms of like the open world setting.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. With large scale landscapes.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
It does feel like there's some real ambition put here, whereas as good as Final Fantasy 15 is, and I think Final Fantasy 15 is good, you can also sort of tell it's a bit of a compromised project in the sense of it feels like it was a little rushed to completion. Hence why the Royal Edition fixes a lot of the issues with the game.
Yeah.
Um,
and this game is still a timed exclusive because it says at the end of the trailer.
Timed exclusive for at least a year to PlayStation. But I think that's going to benefit that audience is there for it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on terms of like the general what you think of 16 is going to be like, Elliot?
I honestly I feel like it's taken a lot from what they've learned with Final Fantasy 15 and 7 remake and just sort of expanding it really.
I think that's a genuinely good idea. Good point. I think I feel like 16 is going to be a brilliant way for Square to get the middle point of their year, and hopefully they'll cap off the year with 7 Rebirth. I'm not sure Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is going to make the end of next year. Those games are notorious for getting delayed, but
I'm gonna say Rebirth is a 24 release.
Reese,
Yeah, easily.
I'm with you guys. I don't think Final Fantasy 7 I know it's got holiday 2023 on the thing right now, but I remember how many delays were given to 7 remake, and that took a while. Mind you,
I don't think 7 remake was delayed. I think it was just announced way too early.
A combination of things. It got a couple of delays. I remember, like it was meant to come out in 2019, and then got delayed to 2020, and then it was meant to come out in March 2020, and then they delayed the last minute. It was coming out in April. So I mean, I can imagine that might happen with Final Fantasy 16. Like it might say it was meant to come out in June. Say, actually, do you mind we bring it out in July instead? That's the only sort of delay I can imagine happening with 16 at this point. I mean,
yeah, they may delay due to bug fixes. The massive open worlds.
That being said, would you guys mind if they said you're gonna have to wait another month to play it?
No.
I mean, I could wait another month to do it.
Easily.
But
in all fairness, I have someone who's kind of gone through all the Forspoken delays with a shrug, so I'm patient enough.
So that was the Game Awards. So in terms of the presentation, what letter grade would you give this one? I'll start with you, Elliot.
F. We didn't see the Rock promote his energy drink. No, I give it an A. I think it was good.
Reese?
I'd probably give it a B, just because a lot of the games they showed off didn't have fixed release dates.
I'm gonna go between you guys on this one. B
minus.
B plus.
Okay.
I think it was there. I just think it was starting to dip a little bit towards the end. But I think it picked itself back up, and I like the fact it was a bit shorter and more focused on 2023 releases. Like one of the things I don't like about the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley shows in general is where he shows off games that are way too early.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot less trailers that were only CGI this time.
That was a fucking benefit as well. So
yeah,
I think overall very good show. I mean, there were 2.
I'll be honest, unpopular opinion, I don't mind the CGI trailers that much. I'm just happy to see new games be announced more than anything else.
Yeah, I can see.
Well, the problem I have with purely CGI trailers is that it doesn't tell you anything about the game itself. Because it could be anything.
I'm fine with it as long as they tell like a bit of the story, like they show a bit of the tone in the story. Like for example, the Banished, I didn't mind that much because it gave us an idea of the tone on the game and the setting and like what exactly it's going to be about. What was it called? Give me a sec. I can't find it now.
Anyway, I mean, the thing for me about CGI trailers is I prefer them when they're of established franchises where I know what the gameplay is. Because then that means I'm like...
Immortals of Aveum, that's it. I had a problem with that one just because I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah, that's the thing. If a CGI trailer's coming about, you've got to really give me an idea of what I'm going to be doing. What the disappointments? There was a couple of disappointments for me. I'm assuming one for you, Elliot, was no Alan Wake 2.
Absolutely. I wanted... That's the one thing I wanted this night. The one thing I wanted. And we didn't get. I'm so upset.
Now, the developers have said they do believe they will make that 2023 release.
Yeah, I do still believe they were. I just thought, they first show off at the Game Awards. I thought like it would be a good time to show off a bit more at the Game Awards.
Well, we'll see Alan Wake again soon. I mean, I like to believe. I mean,
You say that. The problem is the only thing I have of Alan Wake at the minute is watching Ren play it.
but
Game of the year.
You joke about that. I fucking love that game. It's one of my favorite games.
I'm gonna come down with Elliot. I really like Alan Wake. Here's the thing that though for me, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's got pushed to 2024, but I think it will still make it. I think they're just working on it, and we might get a demo sometime next year, maybe in the summer.
Yeah, from what I've heard, from the things I've heard, they are still very doing really well. They are very much on track for development.
Okay, we'll see on that one. Next, another one that I was very, very surprised by. Nothing really from Microsoft.
Well, some things just don't change, do they?
I mean, I was expecting something from Redfall or something like that.
I was
Starfield.
I was really expecting Redfall, Starfield, or Forza Motorsport to show up in this.
I'm not massively disappointed with Starfield. I feel like, consider how big that game is, they kind of want to make their own event on it. Really go into detail on it.
But oh my god, Redfall and Forza are definitely coming out first. When are they going to show off the release dates for those ones at that point? And if not, what's happened with those games?
I don't know. Probably the same thing that has very likely happened with that K-pop game. It's been blown out of existence.
Well, that's got a significant delay beyond 2023.
I don't know why though. It's a stupid K-pop game with absolutely atrocious music.
So, here's what I'm wondering now. Do we think, and I'm going to go a bit tinfoil conspiracy for this one. Do we think Microsoft didn't show up at the Game Awards to make it look like they're doing worse for the upcoming FTC trial?
I doubt it, because with the FTC trial, the court's always just demand internal documents to see what they are working on.
Right, so instead of like the UK Commission where they want to look at their advertising and what they're doing and all that business.
Yeah, because courts could just see straight through that, plus and just say, we've got reports here, you're working on this, and this. You're putting this much money into this, and this.
You make this much money from Game Pass. You make this much money from physical sales. Right, I see what you mean. I mean, obviously, me and Elliot are the only ones who really have much of a backing on Microsoft because we're both Game Pass subscribers. I mean, I'm assuming Redfall's the one you're most excited for out of those three, Elliot.
Probably, yeah. I'm not that. As I mentioned before, I'm never really that bothered about Bethesda games, and I'm not really that bothered about Forza, honestly.
What about
Also, Redfall has vampires, which is definitely a plus for me.
What about the possibility of Hellblade 2 coming out next year? Like, would that be interesting to you?
Yeah, I say so. I still haven't played Testing and Sacrifice, but I'm definitely into it. But I'm definitely plan to.
Yeah, I feel like Hellblade is the one that I'm going to be interested to see. Does that make next year? Like, my thought for Xbox owners is, what if next year is a repeat of this year? And there's barely anything first party coming to the system. Like, there will be stuff coming to it. Like, one of those games will make the Xbox, but what if like only one of them does? Like, at that point, are they going to stay subscribed to Game Pass? Are they going to stay there? Because at that point, they're like, right, what is going on here? You've announced all these games and hardly any of them have come out.
Yeah,
I remember at one point, just funny enough, I remember at one point someone saying they were hoping to see the Medium 2 there at the Game Awards. I just found it funny. And my one thought was, I noticed you haven't had Alan Wake in there, yet you're still really hoping for the Medium 2.
So here's the thing for me actually about that. Is the Medium 2 actually in development? Because I thought the team was working on Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah, I think that was just speculation.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's actually in development.
I was going to say, I know Blooper Team is not a massive studio. PlayStation and Nintendo, PlayStation particularly had a lot more than I was expecting at this.
Definitely,
They definitely put their best step forward. Nintendo gave some good announcements at it.
At least they gave something other than the usual. The Switch has games.
Yeah, I mean, we got Fire Emblem DLC and the Bayonetta spin-off. Those are both really quality announcements. Obviously, they're going to have a direct early next year that will go over what their plans are for the first half of 2023. They're going to say, here's another look at Tears of the Kingdom. Here's another look at a couple more games we got down the pipeline, like coming out in July and stuff like that. Like,
or here's a look at the Xenoblade 3 expansion pass again.
Yeah, again, they're going to say, here's the next bit of the expansion pass. By the way, we're going to talk about the story one at E3.
Yeah.
And they're gonna. That's gonna. I think the story in Xenoblade 3's expansion is going to be a big part of their E3 showcase.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially considering it's post Tears of the Kingdom coming out.
Either that, or probably my guess they're going to announce DLC for Tears of the Kingdom.
That could be one as well, and or possibly their next hardware. Maybe I know normally directs are not a place for hardware, but E3 is a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
Is there? Okay, let's think of the company. I wasn't surprised Sega and Atlas didn't show up at this thing.
I would like to see more of that, like a Dragon Ishin game. Personally,
that's nearly out. We'll get a couple of trailers for that next month.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe information on Yakuza 8.
Yeah, again, those are both excellent. I can't. Obviously, we're going to see more Japanese-focused stuff at Jump Festa, particularly probably some Dragon Quest information.
Come on, Dragon Quest 12. That's all I want from them right now. After Final Fantasy 16, just with Dragon Quest 12.
Speaking of which, my copy of Dragon Quest Treasures just arrived.
Hey.
So why if I kind of think though, how do we feel about the Game Awards being shorter this year? Because I felt it was a fucking godsend.
Much better.
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely say so. I felt like there was a lot less fluff in it.
Cut it down again next year. I feel like most of this thing should be.
The question is, was it because was it an actual conscious decision on their part, or was it just because they had less to reveal?
I think it was a conscious decision, to be fair, because I think they could have gone to a lot more people, they got a lot more fluff of announcements, and really actually made it the 3-4 hour show it normally is. I mean, it was 3 hours this time, but I think that was the overspill from Chris Judd and a couple of the other longer speeches. So I think if they could cut it down to 2.5 hours and keep it at 2.5 hours, that's a good length, and don't have a pre-show. Just a straight 2.5 hours, a couple of musical performances, get the awards out there, get the things done. I think you got a good show. Like, I don't mind staying up to like 2:30 in the morning to watch it if that's the case. But I think they are doing it to take into account for the international audience, and I think they want to take that into account.
Yeah, the question is though, how much longer would the show would have been if Xbox had stuff to show off?
Not much longer, I don't think, because I think Xbox. I think the Xbox know though. I think the one thing I should say on my point is, Xbox know they shouldn't show anything off now until they have concrete release dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, it's what I'm a bit surprised about. No Halo Infinite updates.
Halo Infinite is in such chaos right now. Like someone else has left 343 now.
Yeah, from the last update I saw about it was like a month ago. It's just bleeding players.
It's bleeding
massively,
and they're swapping now to Unreal Engine 5, so it's doing a complete engine swap. I don't know what's going. I feel like Halo Infinite will get there eventually, but it's going to be a while. And I think people are. I'm kind of thinking now that Microsoft should say to 343, sorry, this is the last one you get, because you haven't succeeded in anything we've given you so far. Like, yeah, you got Master Chief Collection working, but it took you so long to get it working, and this should have been easy. So I think they're going to just say to 343, no, we're done with this.
I don't know, because that would mean they would need to create. That would just mean them creating an entire new company to make Halo.
Well, no, if I was Phil Spencer, I'd go. Who does the Wolfenstein games?
Bethesda.
Yeah, which studio? Whichever studio it is in Bethesda that does the Wolfenstein games, I'd go to them and say, do you want to do the next Halo? Because we need a new perspective on this series.
I'm pretty sure it was id Software, the guys who do Doom.
Yeah, okay, yeah, id Software. That'd be a good one, actually. Go to id Software and say, you've not got a Doom game for a while. You've got another team ready to go. Do you want to do Halo? And
imagine a super gory Halo game.
Oh, that would be... I just feel like give it to someone who could have some very interesting idea of what to do with it. So, other than that, I don't think there was much disappointment. I think some people were disappointed about no Tears of the Kingdom, but I think all of us agreed that was never going to get shown off at this.
It never was, let's be honest.
So, we'll be back in probably the first week of January, actually. Will be our own game for Professional. Will be our first game awards for next year. I'll be interested to see how that goes. And obviously Anime Amigos back next week for our best of fall. That'll be a good watch.
I still have no idea what I'm picking.
Yeah, me either. I'm struggling a bit. I've been trying to make my list today. I've only finished the OP and ED bit. I'm struggling on all the others.
I haven't even started on mine yet. I normally get started like 2 days before.
Yeah, well, especially for me as well, because G-Witch has been delayed now, so it's also going to be a holdover.
Well, not technically, because we don't count them as holdovers if it's because of internal delays.
Yeah.
Or that don't vastly extend out the thing. So, like for example, Golden Camway will count when it comes back.
Wild card then.
It can count for a wild. No, it can. You can pick it for anime of the season if you want.
Yeah.
And you can pick it as a wild card as well. The point is, it's just not you just won't count for a holdover in our best of winter next year. But
yeah, it also just means I have to wait longer to see the conclusion of the story.
But at the end of it's only part one of this one. Presumably 4 parts.
Yeah, I'm certain this is going to go for a good while.
Yeah, but oh my god, it's really good.
So good.
It's that good, yeah.
So we'll be back with that. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.